So, do dreams survive the storms? Well, my name is Sarah Hussain, and welcome to my TEDx talk. I have been preparing to say this line since quite a lot of time. So, what are dreams? Google says an event that happens while you're asleep. However, our late president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, once said, dreams are not what comes when you're sleeping, but what that doesn't let you sleep. And I agree to the latter part. I just can't sleep. Coming from a middle class family and indulging myself in an unconventional career was a dream for me and many women in my family who never had the chance to go out and explore the opportunities. And I feel it was a dream come true for me. There were a lot of barriers, but right now I feel I am living in a dream. I chose to become a food blogger at the age of 19. I was just a teenager, and not even my parents, but even I wasn't very sure that what am I getting myself into. People assumed it was all about eating free food. That is what blogging means to some people, and basically a lot of people, not just you. But there are no free lunches in the world, nothing comes for free. There's a cost to everything. So when I told my college friends, the cool gang we have in college that, I want to become a food blogger now. And then they laughed on my face saying, really, this is what you want to become? This is what you're studying for? This is such a no professional job. So I was like, okay. So I told my parents that I want to become a food blogger. And then they were like, वो क्या होता है? They had a tough time understanding it, and so did I. Even I don't know how to explain to them that what exactly is food blogging. I remember my mother saying, what will we tell our society, that what is our daughter doing, what is she really doing? I was like, okay. So I told my best friend Saurabh that, listen, I want to become a food blogger. You want to help me with that? So this time I didn't ask him to do it. I told him that I'm doing and you're going to do it with me, and he said yes. So this is why I think we have a really nice bond, and he's my partner as well at Zingy Zest. And yeah, we both come from middle class families. We both started as teenagers. Saurabh was just 18 when he started, and it was a gradual and growing process. I mean, when we started, we didn't have any fancy cars. We were always, in our college bags hanging around. So I remember once I was in an auto going to a very luxurious cafe, and I heard, people gossiping that, oh my God, she came in a sharing auto. No, sharing auto is something so common. I was like, what's that to be ashamed of? I mean, for 10 rupees, it drops you from metro to anywhere in the in the city. So I was like, there's nothing to be ashamed of. And then I remember once there was this blogger, writing on social media about me, continuous bullying that, she cannot even speak proper English. Have you seen her accent? I mean, yeah, my English is not perfect, but I'm quite sure I made quite a lot of grammatical errors in this speech as well. So just bear with me and don't write it on social media. So, so I was at this Chinese cafe, and as I said, I was not very sure about the food. I still am not. So people made fun of me that she cannot even hold chopsticks. So I was like, they are right. I cannot. And what should I do about it? What did I do? Did I cry? No. Did I lose hope? No. Did I plot a murder against them? I should. But I didn't. What I did was I learned how to hold chopsticks, and there's what I believed in. That then, when once I could hold chopsticks, I realized I can do anything. So, talent is okay. You can always get it. Skill you can always learn. And what there is no substitute for is hard work. So there is no substitute to hard work. I remember I was like, okay, now I'll become the master chef of food blogging and I'll learn everything. But there is so much to learn about. So I started not going any Japanese and Chinese and chopsticks. I tried and explored my Indian culture and cuisine. So when somebody says you're from North India, oh, yummy butter chicken, chole bhature. When you say you're from South, oh, dosa, idli. But as I began, exploring, I learned there is so much to food in our country itself, from Vazwan, from Srinagar, to, Malabar paratha, Andhra chicken, and bamboo biryani from the south. There is so much of unexplored things. You see the glow on my face when I start talking about food. That is the passion I have for it, and that is the hard work I have invested, So it was a gradual process. I'll not say that, I learned it in a night. No, I didn't. It was a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of research, and I didn't, hear it from somebody else. Somebody taught me, or somebody was guiding me. No, everything is now on your fingertips on Google. I was just googling throughout, like what are different type of cheese. What's the difference between a dosa and dosai? So in Tamil Nadu, they see something else, and in Kerala it's something else. So it was quite an interesting thing, to learn that. Why go out when there is so much of exploring inside our own country? So this is where people began to relate to me when I was posting about sushi. Okay, firstly, the concept of sushi was over my head. As I said, I was a typical middle class girl, and I was like, dude, this is kachi machli. This is like raw fish with rice. Why is it so expensive? And even people felt the same. So when I started posting about Rajma Chawal and, as I said, Amda chicken, bamboo biryani, this is what caught attention of people. That this is something relates to us, and that was the relatability I had with my audience. I wasn't pretending, to be the Shah Rukh Khan of food blog, that I know everything. I'm the king of food blog. No, I was always very, curious to learn that, oh, how is the food made? What are the ingredients used? And it is always so interesting. So once my partner asked me, Saurabh, is this a sustainable income, and would you be able to do it like 20 years down the line? I was like, yes, I will. I never started it because I want to earn money. I know being financial independent is so, especially for a woman, is so important in this, in this country and in the times we're living in. So I said, yes, I have the passion, and I'm willing to do all the hard work that I can, and I definitely will survive all the storms that come my way. But there were a lot of storms, starting from the storm in my own family. When I broke the news that I am a food blogger and I want to do this, my parents, especially my mother, is still not convinced till date that am I earning? Am I really a blogger? She often tells me, why don't you become a teacher? Do some sarkari job. I'm like, dude, I'm popular, I'm like giving TEDx. Huh? That all is fine, but do you know how to make gol roti? So this is what the society cares about. The second one was being super competitive field. Social media is such a competitive field. If you don't catch on the trend, you'll miss the trend. It's like catching the train. If you don't catch it, you won't reach the place, and you will just suffer from it. You always have to be on your toes. So, as I always say, change is the only constant thing that happens in this field and in life as well. So, you have to keep changing, experimenting. I'll just give an example. So, when the lockdown began in the COVID thing we are living in, that's why I have to do it on Zoom call and not in front of you guys. So, I was all, to go into luxury hotels, street food, golgappe, chaat papdi, and then suddenly all of that stopped. And we were just locked in our home. So what should I be posting? Should I be posting my old content where I'm going out and eating food? No, nobody will relate to it. Everybody like, what world is she living in? Because it's not happening here. So I thought, why not start making recipes? Now, side note, I don't know how to cook. So that was another storm. And how do you pass a storm? You pass a storm by building your house, and when it breaks down by a storm, you do maintenance of it and not hide behind somebody else's umbrella. So this is what I started learning from Google, from my nanny, from my mother, whoever could help, really, that what is the difference between pudina and dhania and the powders. And there are so many chilies in India. I was like, dude, which world is this kitchen in? That was my home kitchen back then. So I had to work 10 times more, because there are so many talented chefs out there, so many talented bloggers cooking. But what I never missed was the relatability. I never said I am Sandeep Kapoor. I am, a master chef. I always said I'm just a nobody trying to learn cook. And you guys, please come and learn with me. So people love honesty. People love the relatability. And I think this is what, gave me a huge boost. When I made my first recipe, which I feel is so terrible when I see it now, people loved it. It was so easy for the three ingredient recipe, but that's what connected with people. And I feel relatability is something which is, you can never forget. No matter how much I earn, no matter how much, how where I go and how luxurious my life is, I will always ask for extra oregano packets from my delivery guy because this is who am I, and I will never change myself, no matter how old or how rich and how famous I become. Some people feel that you're working hard enough. Why aren't you getting your success, your motto, where you want to go? You're not reaching your working hard. But what I feel is, if I am working hard, there's someone who's working 10 times harder than me, and then probably he deserves that place more than me. So I made a point, I will work hard no matter what. So coming to today. So today when people see my name, like okay, she's a blogger, she eats larger than life pizzas, and yeah, such a glamorous job. She gets to travel so much, she attended IFA awards and all of that. What people don't see is the constant struggle, the in the storm that gets left behind, is the constant bullying that I faced when I wanted to become a blogger from the society and from other bloggers who were much senior to me, making fun of me just because my English was not as good as theirs. अब सही बोल रही हूँ ना? The constant racism I feel just because of my last name on my comments. That is everything happening around the world is related to me according to them, the trollers. The fat shaming I face not only from my family members or my society, but from people I don't even know. And my family, I mean the older generation, the younger generation of my family is really cool. So the auto rides I shared, the metros I took, which led me to nowhere, the parental pressure I faced, the lack of work during lockdown, the overworked, stressful eyes. I have to put a lot of concealer here, just saying. The time I was a waitress in Canada doing my part-time job to earn my rent, all this gets left behind. But when the storm passes, is it worth it? It definitely is, as you can see from my broad smile. Now I'll just end with a little poem by Harivansh Rai Bachchan. It says, असफलता एक चुनौती है, उसे स्वीकार करो. क्या कमी रह गई देखो और स्वीकार करो. कुछ करे बिना जय जयकार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. Thank you.